Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now for those of you who are new to this series, the Weekly Challenges are a set of 5 races that are usually go live every Thursday morning, Wednesday night, wherever you are. These consist of 5 races, 4 of which can already be found within the game, with usually a 5th one specifically tailored for that week. And the purpose of these guides is to give you an idea of what these races offer, the race distances, the cars used, the tracks they are at, as well as whether they have any modifiers like tire wear or fuel usage, specific drivetrain requirements, specific power points requirements, or the like. So without further ado, let's get into it. And kicking things off is the Sunday Cup, as usual an easier race. This is a 4-lap race in particular around Kyoto driving park Miyabi, with a suggested 4 points of 380 and a road card. So something not too powerful, so you don't have to go crazy. And for this example, I'm going to pull out something that I've already have meeting this anyway, and that's this Honda S660. Now, I haven't done too many things to it. Obviously it's on comfort sauce. Haven't really done anything setup-wise, just mostly stuff with power and maybe a few other things. And as far as tips for this particular one, keep it flat. This is mostly a track where you're going to be on the gas quite often, and there will be some hairy situations depending on your car and where you are. And beware of the AI through turns 3, 4, and 6. These are the areas where they will brake the hardest and where you'll be carrying momentum, so you will be caught out if you don't see what they're doing. So keep that in mind. Next up is Japanese 4-wheel drive Challenge 600, which, as you can see, suggests a performance points of 600. It's 2 laps around Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit, or as we tend to call it, Bathurst. A road car professionally tuned from Japan, and specifically with 4-wheel drive. And likely you can already think of some Japanese cars with that. Obviously no penalties in this instance, so I'm just going to pull out the first car that came to my mind, which is this Lancer Evolution that I had already tuned before. And as far as setup goes, this is basically just using the default setup from the Group 4 car, just as a decent base. A lot of modifications and stuff, so if you have something similar, there's a little guide for you if you have been using this car. Otherwise, any Japanese 4-wheel drive car will do. And as for tips for this race, 3rd gear through turns 2, depending on your car or tune. I found this to be pretty ideal for my car. You know, it gets good acceleration and traction out of there. 4th gear with turns 7 through 10, again, I found that works pretty well for me. Keep a good speed, not too little and not too much to get through the turns. Beware of the AI in turns 11 through 13. They break a whole lot, and with how narrow that particular part is on the track, it will get pretty awkward pretty fast. Next up, the race of turbo sports cars. And this is a 4-lap race around Circuit de Croix B. And this requires a 700 performance points or less with your car and a turbocharger. That's pretty much it. So as you'll notice, it doesn't have to necessarily be just a road car. And so taking advantage of that, I'm going to use a pretty good example of how you can exploit that. And I'm going to use this WRX Group 4 car. Now, obviously, everything here is pretty stock. The tires, the setup and all. Well, it's not going to really too matter much, as you will soon see, as it works pretty well. And the tips for this particular race or track: 3rd gear and 2 wheels on the green if you can. I feel that makes the car turn a little better, at least in my hands anyway. Be aware of the AI in turns 3 through 5 before the bridge, as they tend to brake quite a bit through that right-left flick there and that turn just before getting on there. And a wide entry and tight exit through 7. I found that this gives you a good run and gives you good distance even from cars with high top end speed. Next is the World Touring Car 900. And this is a 10-lap race featuring 8 times fuel use and 8 times tire wear. at Suzuka circuit. And the cars needed a recommended 900 performance points or less, and it's mostly Group 2 cars. And for me, because this is Suzuka, and I'm a Super GT fan, I have to pull out this Honda here, as it's the only GT500 car I have from 2016. It's all default, except for the racing mediums. And in fact, this is a personal recommendation of mine, because if you're going to use Group 2 cars, use the 2016 GT500 cars. Plenty of grip to go on this track, just in default setups. Otherwise, any car below 900 pp will do. Racing mediums I found were a good option, good balance between tire wear and grip, so perfect for that one stop that you can make. Beware of the AI in the S's and through 120R. These are the particular parts where I found they break a whole lot. So if you're going for a clean racing bonus, be mindful of that, as it can tighten up pretty quickly. And finally, this week's special event around another car from the latest update, the Honda Ionic 5N one make. This is a 5-lapper around the Nurburgring Sprint featuring, of course, the Hyundai Ionic 5N. As you can see, the AI has gotten pretty customized with some of their cars. Now, you don't really have to go all that crazy with your modifications. I myself just chose to because I really like the bike speed look and decided to go for it. Although, to be honest, you don't really have to do much to get the power up, since this being an EV and not a petrol car. And as you can see, I don't even have any setup on it. It's just basically default, but the only thing I've done is racing mediums and, again, slight power bump. Now, as far as tips go for this, I recommend racing brakes and brake balance. As demonstrated in my update review, the car tends to have a very long braking distance, so I feel these will combat the problem in an extreme racing scenario. Mine being oversteer. In a rare case for EV cars, this actually will oversteer depending on how you exit a corner. So, be mindful of that. Thankfully, with these new physics, you can probably manage that a little better, but just keep an eye on that. And beware of the AI in turns 8 as well as the chicane. Again, as per usual, the AI tends to overbrake quite a lot in turns that it really shouldn't be doing. So, keep an eye out for that if you're going for a clean race bonus. So, that is it for this week's Weekly Challenges guide. Hope you enjoy this, whether you're just coming back to the game or whether you have woken up to these challenges. If you like this video, then give it a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe, as I will be making these every week when these come out. So, that is it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video.